there. So I'm going to, it'll be kind of fun to see what happens, what this will do when it's finished. And also if this solder will work. And if we can solder the other ones. Come on, flow, flow, flow around. There. So come on. Right, so I'm going to actually cut these off. Let's see. One. So we're kind of cutting some of that extra solder off there. Right. So I'm not used to this new chat, so I'm just checking it out, making sure that it actually works. So and am I actually live? I think so. So let's see. There. I'm live on YouTube and on Twitch. So I'm going to make sure that I can see my OBS and chat there. So and I can see my own microscope image, which is kind of nice, right? So now we only have, let's solder these two, the transistors, and then we might do the leads for the motors before we do these. Well, probably we should do these. So let's see, are there any other components? Yeah, we need to get another switch, and I have several. Oh, so my changing screens phone says it has 0% power. Yeah, I noticed that something is off with one of my switches. One of the USB switches must have been like powered off. I have no idea how it could have happened. Let's just check it out quickly. So it might be plugged in again. Let's see if I unplug this. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got it. So I think we'll have power soon again. Yeah, and suddenly it has 22% power. Phones and their charging. It's just too odd. So this phone was on just a second ago, and it powers down due to power. But then just 22%. As soon as it gets the charging again. So we'll see if we can start it. It doesn't have good battery anymore. So I'm just going to continue soldering. There's not much to do here. So These are a bit special since I usually fold them, right? Let's do this one first because I can't really reach with the soldering. There's stuff in between that I can't see. Come on. My god, I touched something else. Yeah. So let's do this one too. Come on, come on. Yeah, so I'll actually cut these legs off. Why content with them, you know, when you can not do it? Ah. So I know I usually talk a lot more. Focus mode, right? Focus mode. There. So let's fix the other transistor too. This is a bit funny. So I happen to move it. So the problem is that this solder is a bit thick. It feels like it's too thick and doesn't flow really. Come on. So let's see. Where is it? There. Yeah, it's clean enough. So I usually rotate it. So the problem now for me is that I see the best from actually the microscope because my light is in repair mode, but it will be, the glue will have dried today. The third time with the glue, so maybe it's even dry. So let's leave it for a bit more, and then I can put the light up there. And yeah, so I'm letting it dry. Then next time I'm soldering, we'll have better light. Now we'll actually be able to see like here too, because the camera is better than me and seeing in the low light. So there. So what on earth? Yeah, I was thinking, oh my god, I already did cut that one off. Well, it's really bad light. I should just, I guess I have some other light I could turn on, but it will probably flicker. So I have one of these though. It's the same kind of thing, it's just that it's tinier. So let's see if we can get a bit more light. and plugging it into my computer as the power source. So a bit more light. So now I can see more here. The question is, if I just put this on top here, just like that, nah. Just have it on the side. Have a bit more light at least. Right. So there. So what's actually holding it now is my tiny holding extra hand thing here, holding the light. So let's test the different lights. I think this is the middle one. So now I can see better. Not great. It would have been better to come from the top than the side. And also, it's kind of bright light for you there, right? Next time, it'll be okay, the other light. So the thing is that the next soldering, let's confirm that it's all done. Right, so all of this is fixed, except I think this was kind of bad. And also, my camera died, okay? Oh my god, what a bad stream this is. So, I'm thinking I disconnected the USB. No video. Panda. No video. Okay, I didn't have any video when I watched another stream today, so I think its Twitch is a bit buggy. Is it Twitch? Yeah, it's Twitch, of course. So let me look at my own stream, see what it looks like. I think the camera popped back. So if I do this just to make sure. Yeah, so I can see myself on Twitch. So it seems to be working, and my camera is back up. I just killed it and turned it back on. So all of the soldering points are done, and my mic keeps working still. So I did turn off that light because I think it felt like the light here was getting darker. So when I turn this on, it goes darker, you know, from the contrast. So I don't like that. So we'll survive without light. What I'm going to do now is the messy soldering of soldering these on this side. There are no soldering pads here. No soldering pads. So we'll have to solder it on this side. But as I showed you last time, if you look at the light diode this way, you can see that there's a flat bit on this side. You see that it's a bit flat there, and then you can see that this leg is also shorter. That's how you know that's the minus side. And also here you can see the plus. And yeah, so the question is, how will we make this one want to be a bit up so that we can actually solder it? So let's just start with putting it here. So I'm thinking maybe I should do these first because they're like tinier. These are also the direction doesn't matter. So just the two legs in here. That's hard enough. Come on, there. Yeah, and we're supposed to solder it with. Yeah, I think we will have to do something like this and try and solder it here. So I don't get from the instructions in Chinese. Let's see, this phone started. So I can't switch between screens because the phone powered off. I can do it manually. Let's see. There. So here we have the assembly instructions from the bottom of the circuit board. According to the board, identifier will be medium 5 light diode and photosensor resistor solder on the board, requiring light emitting diode and photosensor resistance distance from the universal wheel sphere 5 mm or so 5. So this is Google translated from Chinese because my instructions look like this. Right, so wherever we have 3s here, or maybe not even that, 0.5. So if anyone knows Chinese, so 5, diameter 5. Okay, so there we can see something more. Then oh my goodness, I can see it says 5 mm there. So before I Google translated this, I was thinking still that the only way to solder these on this side is to do it a bit up. The motor will be here, like this, and I don't know if there's, I mean, can't be anything from this, right? Does this have light? I don't think it would even matter if it's supposed to follow a line or something, right? Maybe we should leave the legs for these a bit longer. So, but 5 mm, we might not be able to do. I'm assuming that they mean just put it 5 mm up, or you won't be able to solder it. The thing is that if I hold it like this and solder, my fingers will die, right? So we'll need to use something else to hold this. Yeah. So I can't send messages. Just a sec. There. So this will probably work. This will probably work. My phone is not quiet. There. There. So, turn it off. So now we have it a bit up there. So I'm going to solder it like this. I'll actually turn this a bit more around because of the angle there, so I will be able to touch it with a soldering iron and this. So right. This will be an okay angle, I think. So how many millimeters exactly that is up, I don't know, and I'm not gonna measure it. So, but we will be able to solder this So let's actually put the solder here first this time, because it's kinda, come on. Oh my goodness. That's not enough. It's not really. That's the problem with the solder. It doesn't flow. So I need to put more here. Come on, solder. How annoying is this? It's so annoying. And we have a big lump of solder there too. Come on and flow. Yeah, well, that's the other leg. Anyway, one of the legs has a bit of solder. So I can see that my tip is going black. So let's see here. Come on, there. And then the other side. So this solder is so horribly bad. Very, very bad. Sorry for not. You see there's like a hole here. It's not flowing. The other one is not either. So if I clean the tip again. And let's see here. So there. Let's fix the focus of the microscope a bit. And we can see that both are now kinda soldered. So when this solder roll is out, I won't cry, let's say that. But still, this is like a cheap, simple project, so why not use it on this that I don't really care about. But to use this solder for SMD stuff, I would be dying. So as you can see, we couldn't have soldered it on this side. I think I will just cut these off, and then I'll assume that this is good enough, because yeah, you know, good enough. So this is the funniest. I've never soldered on the wrong side like this. This is a very odd soldering kit. Couldn't they have had pads on this side? So we need to do this for more components, unfortunately. So we now have another photoresistor on this side, and then we have 2 LEDs too. And the LEDs, they're even like more finicky, I think. So let's just make sure that they're at least the same height, right? So let's see here. Kind of that high. So let's see if I do finicky thingy a bit, at least pull them out a bit. So let's see, is this finicky fixed good enough? It's kind of the same height. So when I put solder on here, we'll see what happens. And also I can't see chat. And now I can see chat even less. There. So I'm going to put chat on the main screen. And Panda, did you get your video fixed? Do you see the video now? I only see the no video message. At the start of stream I actually didn't have the mic working because of my USB problems. So it's been working for some time now at least. Right, and you don't have desktop audio on, right? So, not that you need it, but... right, let's see here. So since I can't see this in real life, I'm just going by this blurry microscope image. So right now I'm thinking I should have fixed the blurriness. And I hope that the photoresistor is not sensitive to being... let's unblur. Because it was very blurry. So, trying to do this by microscope image there. And I'm seeing it the same size you are. So not full screen. My god, this is so annoying. Come on, flow. If I push you, try and push it down. It doesn't even flow then. My god, seriously. This is so annoying. Melt. Melt. There. So I could try increasing the temperature, but I don't think that's the problem really. I think just it's just bad solder. So I'm going to rotate it a bit, and it looks like that is rotated, but that doesn't matter as long as it's, we can just move the legs afterwards. So let's see, this is the oddest angle. Well, you can see the full image. You can see how dark the board looks there. That's why I can't see much. Come on now. Yeah. There. So let's actually look around these solder joints to see if it's actually looks okay. Yeah, so it looks kind of okay. And this one, why it's rotated, that's a good question. Because it only has 2 legs there. So, let's straighten the other one too. And let's cut off these legs. I can see this at least. There. So, cheap AliExpress kit. That's why we have this quality issue. We need a switch. Yeah, so the next thing, yeah, that's 2 LEDs. 2 LEDs over there. So, the Chinese translation for these LEDs was, let's see, white hair, red LEDs, right? The other were red LEDs, and these were white hair, red LEDs. So I'm assuming they are red too. We will see. We will see. So we can see what's plus and minus. And again, let's see. Do we see an edge that is flatter? Yes, here's an edge, and we're confirming that the leg is shorter. So we're going to put the plus leg, the long leg in, and then the minus one. There. Now we're supposed to solder this on this side, which will be very, let's say, interesting. So let's go for the same height. I'm thinking actually I will like split it apart a bit before, and then I will bend it. So I'll just get tiny pliers here and see if we can, because we see these spots here. So if we turn them a bit like this, there, so we have something that is close to the edges, and we can still easily see which is the shortest and longest leg. Well, let's put it in here. Back, longest leg and the plus one, and now we have like more of a resistance when putting it here. So it's stuck by its own power now. So what about this height? Yeah, I think that's okay. It's just by the kind of tiny bumps there, right? And since these now are tied together, let's just pull them apart, and we don't need anything else to hold it. It's there by its own power. It's firmly not moving, so we can just hold the board itself with this one. So let's see what's a good angle here. So if I turn it like this, it will go lower, and that's easier for me to get some kind of angle here, like this maybe. I think the other way. So from down to up. There, that's better. So we can solder these like this. And since the microscope is a bit in an angle here, it looks maybe odder than it is to me. So, what do you think this will do when it's finished? Okay. Oh, redeem lockpicking. Oh, sure, but not while we have the soldering stuff up, because this gets warmer all the time. The handle. It's not. I got this long ago. It's a birthday present from my parents when I was a kid, you know. Everybody wants a soldering station when they're a kid, right? My god, this is horrible. Yeah, so I got a bit. The problem with the solder is that it doesn't flow. So that's why I just want to get rid of it. So as far as I can see, that looks kind of okay. A bit too much, but I'm pleased as long as it's connected. But we'll look at it more when the other one is done too. So I will try the lockpicking. So let's see. This lead and the other one, and then we'll do the lockpicking. So you can see how the solder is not really flowing. So now it's there, and we can look at whatever angle we want here. So this looks horrible. Come on, flow better. Flow better. So the thing here is that the solder must also be not on the surface, it must be in the hole for this to work, you know. So it can't just be a blob here on the leg. So I'm trying to make sure that it's thoroughly hot. And that's always a nice feature. Connecting them, the legs. That's short. We don't want shorts. So So one of these annoying bad construction of the board things left to solder. Let's first cut the legs. So there was supposed to be soldered, of course, on this side. So why don't I manage to cut this kind of... So I shouldn't look through the microscope, I should look IRL. Where is the darn thing? I think these pliers are not able to do it lower, that's why. So they look kind of flat though, so I'm thinking it's me holding it in a bad angle. Well, it's not like they look short anything. So we have one more of these. Let's think before we put it there this time. And let's angle the legs a tiny bit. So let's hold it at the right height. So that's the thick part of it. And the other one. Something like that. There. So let's put it here and let's make sure. Again, is there a flat side to this? There it is. The leg is shorter. Short leg is a minus. And we look here, the plus, the long leg first. And then the short one, come on leg. And then it's going tighter, because that's why we bent it. So it's going to be kind of tight to pull it through here. And looking from the top instead there. So there, kind of looks okay, right? It's kind of the same height as the other things. Yeah, let's put them out. There, so this one is not, well, it's kind of stuck where it is. I can move it a bit if I want to, there. So just went on feeling a bit there and moved them. Oh well. Last horrible solder. So let this hold the board for me. And we're going to try and see something too. So rotating it a bit there. And let's fix the focus. I won't see anything, right? So maybe it's better to have it in an odd angle so that I can see under the legs there. Because I need to see if it's actually flowing at all. This darn solder there. Now we can see under the legs in the microscope. There. So also this looks like it's not flowed properly here. So I can just melt it a bit there. So I'm going to check on my kids after this one, and then oh, this is annoying because I'll have to be like this. Come on, we don't want to melt the plastic. There. So as I talked about just a bit ago, it's not just supposed to be on the leg, and it has to go into the hole too. So we'll see how this works, if the solder is really connecting, you know. Though I think the pad itself is connected, so I think it might be enough with just the pad. It's just one layer, it's nothing advanced here. So let's see if I put the soldering iron on this here. Let it melt a bit more. Oh, that's good enough. Let's say it's good enough. Right. So we have the two leads here too on the right side where they're supposed to go. And these are supposed to actually look at the ground there. So as flat angle as I can make it there. There. So this is why we don't put the high components on first. I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of high now. So so we have these finally there. We have other stuff to solder on this side too. And we do have the button. So I'll have to go and get a button, since the button that came with the kit here has no, let's see, where are we here? So there's no connection between the pins. We measured it. So if I had just put it here, I would have been annoyed and said, why doesn't it work, right? So, but all the holes here are filled. We have soldered all the components but this one. Let's actually put the ship in now. So here, as you can see, the drawing on the board has this tiny little notch there, and the plastic, the holder, has the notch, and the ship has it too. So we know what direction to put it in. So let's just put it here, there, and push the other side in. So it's placed, and then we just push, and it's there. So this is nice, because if a ship breaks, you can always just replace it, and also it doesn't get destroyed by the heat from soldering. So the only soldering bit left is this one. That's a component. And then we also have the wires. We need to solder all the wires. We have 6 wires to solder, and also 4 of them needs to go on the motors too. So it might be easier to solder them on the motors first, on these tiny tabs here. I don't know. I think the board is probably harder. So we could bend it around this. These have nothing really to attach to but a pad. So let's do these first. And I think that they were like split in one end and not in the other. So we could go for soldering these here. So we have one black green, one white red. So let's do green and red being plus. And also we can't see what is plus here. So we'll have to try and figure out that funny Chinese translation. It will just go backwards if we do it wrong though. Then it seems like this is supposed to be taped into place. So tape, not any screws or anything, tape. So it's supposed to look like this, with the wheels on, of course. Yeah, so I haven't forgotten the lockpicking one. I'm just checking with my kid first. Let's just give this a try. Yes, I got it. These are so hard. Uh, let's see if I can do this one. And then I'll check my kids, and then we'll do the lock picking redeem, right? So the wheels are done. I'll be right back. Vi kan också koppla in din mick, vet du, Gabban. Hallå? Gabban trodde du var på toa eller någonting.
Where do you find the microphone?
I den andra lådan.
Okay.
there. So they needed a bit of help. So this card is a problem. It's not very functional apparently. So let's see. Yeah. So I'm thinking, while I'm doing this, oh, what happened? That's odd. The title of the stream was not the right one. So I'm fixing this. There. So there it works. Yeah. So now we're in science and technology. Let's continue. I want to finish this, even if it's kind of odd thing. And also, the connectors are on the inside here, while the spots here, you know, it's a bit funny. And these are magnetic, so they. Well, for soldering, I need to get a button, so I'm going to get the button. And then I'll be back. I might actually have it in the room there. So I'm almost back. There. So I noticed I had these jumper pins, but I also have these. So these are, yeah, these would work great. So what's the difference between this one? Well, let's see, what does it say? So as you can see, I soldered these. They don't fit in a breadboard, so I soldered them to these. So let's measure them. I'm also thinking that we could just have 3 pins and have a jumper, because this is not like a button you press all the time. It's more like you pick it up and then you short 2 pins, right? So maybe this is the best option actually, to just put these in here on the top side, of course. Right, so if we have these here and we solder them on the bottom, and then we just short the 2 that are actually the connection. Right. So, and this is when we're happy not to have any higher components, we can just put it down like this and it's done. Yeah, I think I'll go with this, because This is just something I will try 2 times, you know. The fun part is building it, not playing with it. So I'll just find some jumpers somewhere. Or we could just twist a bit of cord on there. So let's see. I'm thinking all of these pins from the soldering. So let's just solder these. That's easy, quick soldering. And I'll put them somewhere where I don't forget I brought them in here. So if I had like 10 of those switches, I could have used them for this project. Oh my god, it's very warm. I'll just transfer some of it to my hands. So now we have some easy soldering compared. The right side and everything. I still don't have any light though. But it's too little solder there. The solder is still as bad, of course. You see it doesn't flow to the other side of the pad here. So we have to use more solder than we would do normally, because it doesn't flow. Annoying. So also this could be 3 burned dots on my table. We'll see. So as long as they don't touch, that's okay. I actually turned the soldering iron off for a bit there, so we can turn it back on. So let's check these out. That's good enough. Good enough. And no 3 dots on the table. I should have brought that blue protection thingy that's like half an arm stretch away. So also it's not straight. I could fix that. Do I want to bother with that? We can fix it when we turn the soldering iron back on. So we have a soldering spot for this, which is, let's see, over here. So there's the spot, and we can see plus and minus. These, on the other hand, don't have plus and minus. So that's a bit of a problem. So let's look at the drawing, because we have Chinese text, but we do have drawings, and also the other side is nothing. So let's see here. If we look at the motors here, should I just connect stuff and see what happens? I don't know like how to change it. Yeah, let's solder them onto the board, and then we try just putting them on the other side without soldering first, and see if the motors seem to go in the right directions. Not a good way to do it though, So right, we can help. We can use the LEDs. No, that's not. Yeah, that's the LEDs. So we can see the directionality of the LEDs. But there's nothing on the motors to show which is which. I mean, seriously. What's plus and minus here? So the instructions for these are not perfect. So also these things are kind of funny. Is this what keeps the motor actually attached to this thing? So we could open it and look inside. And this is not even like in the middle. This is supposed to be in the middle. Oh, we can move it if we want to here. So this will probably spin. That's why it's not touching there. Yeah, so if we open this, there might be a million tiny parts that we don't want to like make them fall out. So I'm not going to do that now. So if this is supposed to be like on here, better be there. Yeah, so these are what we put the wheels on. It's not very advanced or complicated, right? So it has this tiny hole there. That's where it's going in. So what we see on the outside is this very nice looking wheel. Yeah. And this also makes me kind of assume that these screws are actually for here, right? So it's a tiny star. So let's get a star screwdriver. So stars. Well, let's see if this fits. Because it would just fall otherwise, right? Yeah, so I think they're kinda... Yeah, so that's the base of it, the wheel. Lockpicking, I know. TTS is not up, sorry Goaku. But hopefully hopefully I will read chat. I know that was even before I got back, so I'm sorry. So there was a tiny hole in this and a tiny hole in the middle of the white plastic there. So I'm assuming these screws here were not for anything else but the wheels. These feels like the right size. No resistance really until here. Yeah, so they feel actually tight and like they fit, right? So if we put the leads the wrong way around, yeah, I'm actually seriously considering adding like pins to these. So let's see how it would look when it's done. And these are on the inside here, right? So let's just get rid of the screwdrivers. And let's put those bags in there too. So the tiny pins here, or rather, what would you call them? the thingy-madoos. They're supposed to be connected to these spots here, which is kind of like funny order of it. So I'm thinking of attaching pins to these so we can easily just plug something in and out. But I'm guessing that since these are supposed to be glued on, so once we've glued them, it will be very hard to reach any of them to fix it, right? We won't be able to fix it if we don't do it right the first time. So I'm assuming that we can see what's back and forth in these by just giving them 3 volts, the 2 batteries. But we still won't know, right? What's what? What's back and forth? So annoying. Well, we know this one is going, so that's why I'm kind of thinking it's the easiest one. We could attach it now. Let's attach the battery holder, and then we have power, you know. Then we can test things better. We can attach these wires too. So I'm attaching these wires first. Then we're attaching this. Then we can test to see what connections we get here by just touching these. Right? And the LEDs will show the direction it's intended to go. Right. So it's I like that you had to think that it's not just whatever. But I'm also assuming that this goes here and this goes here. Which I'm assuming is a problem for the light thingies. And this is the actual 3rd wheel. There. So it's supposed to have 2 wheels and a tiny knob there. Like this. Well. Let's start soldering. I don't know, should we have it there? Maybe it's nice to have something to hold. So this will be never really stuck. It will fall off. As soon as you touch it, it untightens. Maybe I should have done it tighter. Well, when we solder these, they have tiny, let's see here. So they have tiny points on this side, but here we don't have anything. So we have to make sure we can do the same here. So I'm taking a tiny knife. Or should I do the lock picking? I don't know if you're still here. Whoever redeemed tier number 15, right? You redeemed the lock picking. Are you here? This is the opportunity to do it if you're still here. Just tell me and I'll do the lock picking. So I'm trying to be nice to it so it doesn't break. But it's a kind of tiny thing. So we're just cutting the plastic tiny bit, pulling a bit. There. So we have a tiny bit of metal there. that we can solder into this bad solder. So the other side. Come on, there. Yeah, so it's still attached. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So it's very quiet, and I know I usually talk a lot, so I'm like, quiet. Kind of nice today to have a quiet, actually. Oh right, it's that horrible. So I had the glue stuck in everything here, you know. So I would never do manicure. Sounds horrible. I don't want to torture my hands. So there. So I just removed a tiny bit here. Well, yeah, I do, but these are so tiny, so I'm thinking they'll probably break if I use a wire stripper. Also, they keep breaking the wire strippers. And it's like 1 meter that direction. I'd have to get up. I had a knife in the drawer. So, if you want control, then you want this, not a wire stripper. So I'm thinking here that these two are what needs to be shorted, and I definitely have jumpers somewhere. And I'm assuming this is on and off, right? And this is a leg of one of the components. So let's just do a bendy thing here, and let's see here. Well, this is a tiny component leg. It hopped off. So also jumpers are in the other room too, right? We can make one ourselves. I'll probably get one. So these are shorted now. And my fingers are too big. Let's actually use this tiny pliers to push here. So it's kind of stuck here now, right? It's kind of sturdy. There. Pop out. So I'm going to flatten this a bit. And there's still the solder on the end. So let's see if we put this the other way. So I didn't even ask you about work, Panda, because for me it's not a work day, you know. So I'm feeling it's weekend already because it is here. So today we're going to have some barbecue a bit later. So we have a tiny jumper air, keeping this one shorted. So we should probably test that they are shorted. It doesn't look very tight, that, right? So if I grab this, let's see where it is. Can I grab this? It's tiny. Well. So it's kind of loose. I kind of broke it there, I think. So if I turn it over, it will fall out. But I think it will still short it kind of good enough. So I can't even see it. There. So let's. I'm like going on feeling here. Tiny squeeze like that. And a tiny squeeze like this. And see. So how does your nails look under a microscope, Panda? So I can't really push here. Yeah. So this is definitely shorted like this, but I want it to tiny bit lower down there. So time to actually solder these, and I had plans for the colors. So I'm thinking let's actually think logically for a second, and we can see that we have the lead connected here. This is the lead here, and it has a directionality. The outer leg of both sides is the -1. So that means, do I have anything that's pointy? So this is pointy soldering tools. So this one is minus. That is minus. Oh, playing guitar, right, I understand. Of course. That breaks your nails, right? So yeah, so this is the plus. And what is this component? Oh, that's both resistors there. So we have this one is going here through the resistor. It's a nice okay, so I was thinking 10 ohm resistors. Why? But now we see the 10 ohm resistors, they actually make these being able to cross on a 1-layer card, right? So maybe this resistor doesn't actually do anything for the resistance. So this means that the plus side here of this goes here. So let's look back at this. And, we could have like plus and then the other side minus going to plus minus. but I think these are like parallel, right? So if we look here, you can see they're parallel. So the end connected to the lead here, and if we compare it to the, well, we can't see it anymore. Oh right, we also have the battery here and the switch. Let's look at all of the stuff. So yeah, so I'm thinking these are like, so let's see if I can find it. There it is. Here. This is one side and this is one side. So what's plus for the lead should be plus for the motor, right? Don't you think? It's not, they're not in the serial connected, they're parallel connected. So plus side for them should be the same and the minus side is the same. And that gives us the direction for this, because we saw that the minus side here, let's see if I can get that nice angle again. The minus side of the lead is connected to this. That makes this minus. And the plus side of the lead is connected to this. So when we see the light, this motor will run too. Well, in one direction at least. I'm kind of assuming the motors goes both and the lead doesn't. So I'm very interested in how this will work when it's running. And maybe we will have to look at all of it, the electronics, and understand it. But let's call this one minus. So the upper one is minus. Let's see the other side if it's the same. So come on. I want that shiny little shininess with the focus. Yeah, so the outer minus leg is connected to the, what I say, let's call this the front. Okay, so the front, if this is the front, right? Maybe it's the back. We don't know yet. So this is the minus. So let's connect the black and the white. White and black will be minus to these, right? So then we just have to turn on the soldering iron. And I'm kind of thinking now, hi Goku, did I have a few push-ups to do? You said you redeemed 15, did you? Well, I didn't see it in time. And I had actually a lockpicking redeem here, but as I asked the person who redeemed it, are you here? Yeah, which TTS will be back, like in next week or something. I spoke to Security Live. He has other things on his mind. So, yeah. Okay, you're welcome to Lark. As long as you're allowed to give me redeems, you know, like training redeems. I'm turning the slow heated from when I was a kid. Soldering station. Yeah, we can see it. Let's see if I can reach with the camera how it looks. My ancient soldering station here. So it looks like this. So you can see the temperature rising slowly. 100 degrees. 150. Well, this is fast enough, right? It doesn't have to be instant. So I just turned it off because of the handle gets warm actually. Right? So let's sort these out for now. So we have white. There, we can just solder it like this. I'm thinking this will be the holder for the wire here. And maybe we want it closer. And we want it to be like turning down a bit. Um, yeah, let's actually. Come on, you can rotate. I know you can. There. So I prefer these kind of sturdier versions of the helping hands. There are these that can bend, with balls in lots of directions, but they are not as reliably. When I put this in a direction, it's there. It won't move, and it has this iron foot that's kind of heavy. So this will stay where I put it, not just hop around. Oh, soldering on the guitar. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, so these actually come like this. And maybe there's even something for a mirror or something. But I just pull it apart, and I put one of these arms here so that it's. Usually I do that. This one is kind of new, so I haven't mishandled it yet. We'll see. I have more of these, like one stand. So this is like 10 euros or less on Amazon or something. So let's focus this. And I don't think both touch. So, but I think it might be enough. So also I could just put something underneath this and here, and it will go up a bit. So does this touch now? No, but it's close enough. There. So this is the most annoying of soldering, where you don't have a hole or anything. And there are two things to keep track of. And if I just push this a bit with the soldering iron, which is warm now, by the way, before it was finished, so maybe I don't have to buy a new one just because of this heating speed. So this out of the way, and I will try not to push things away. There. Let's do the other one. So this is how it's supposed to flow on all places, not just a tiny bit. So even this solder could flow here. Well, looks good enough to me. So I could lift this now in this cord. So let's do the other side too. So black this time, being the minus one. So let's see, if I do this and I do this, it will be able to be further down, and they don't have to be that wide. Come on. And we move this a tiny bit. There. So no. Pressing down with the soldering iron, because I'm trying to do it without, annoying. We also don't want to melt the cards. So that looks a bit odd. So maybe it's because this is from when I was a teen, the soldering iron, but the cord is starting to get a bit... Well, I'd rather have too much than too little solder there. Oh no. So trying not to move a tiny bit, you know. So these then will go back, which is kind of odd. Let's make a tiny bend in the cord, and they will actually go back and attach on this side. So how smart could they have made this, you know? So they're supposed to attach like this. And this is when we don't know the direction of the wheels. Oh, the whole board is a bit warm. Let's do the battery one, because those are also tiny pads. So yeah, that was smart of me, putting my thumb inside the microscope thingy there. Fortunately I didn't. So didn't mess it up. So we're going to use this again, of course. And these are two cords that were not attached in any way, so that's why I kind of put them together like this. And I'm thinking I will hold them kind of close to where they're to be put. And this is a height problem, it's very low. Let's put my phone there, right? Maybe not. Let's put a pad underneath, so we're closer to the right height. And angle. Come on, you can rotate, I know it. So I'm actually going to bend the cables down and then push them on here. Let's do the black one first, and then we'll move it. So it's kind of peaceful not to have any sound, but it's very odd too. I don't even have anything in my ears because of the USB problems I had. So let's see, heating that pad, putting some solder. So let's move it the tiniest bit here, so there. And my eyes can't really see these tiny things anymore, but we have a microscope, so it doesn't matter. There. And this one is going on the side here. and I'm assuming it won't fit that way, right? So we'll need to do this, and then I guess we will think of something for that. So if we put it this way, I'm assuming this, which seems to fit exactly on this, is what's supposed to be there. It's a bit too long though, so let's actually cut a bit off. Both the board and this is. Let's fasten it first. Come on. You have two sides, right? Gooey gooey. So there. And then of course I should have taken this on the other side so I didn't have to mess with that. So so I'm thinking the other ones, these are for the motors. They're too tiny. I'm thinking I'll get some other tape that's actually fits. So we could get batteries now and we can see what signals we get from these. That's kind of the plan. Assuming that this is always on. Air cleaner thought I was soldering too much. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, let's finish it. It's not much left. We only have these and maybe making this button a bit straighter. So I'm going to actually use this to protect my fingers from the heat, and I'm going to heat these up a tiny bit. Yeah. So these are straight now instead of crooked. So they were like angled into it. So, right. Should I get something to clamp onto these? That's the question. Let's see. What have we got here? So I have these kind of thing, but tinier. These are actually connected to USB now, so I don't want to desolder them. But I have a bag of new ones. Oscilloscope. Random stuff. Oh, in my random stuff. Well, random stuff, electronic stuff. Random electronic stuff. Do you remember when we did this? It's still there. It's still waiting. I sorted, a lot of stuff. Too much, maybe. Maybe too much, because it's not here anymore. So they used to be in this. There might be some in here still. So okay, tools. And this is my toothbrush. Very normal place to have your toothbrush, right? Don't you agree? It's a perfect thing. Just a scalpel, a few anesthetic stuff, thingy. Like, then we have a few of these. I saw one at least here. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it really. I'll have to get something good for this. Mostly just tiny screwdrivers and a lid for like some kind of oil spray thingy. Very long jumper pins in there. Oh, here's another one. So this was the original contents of this. These. Right, so let's actually rethink, and I do think that I have special cables for my, let's see. I'm just thinking tiny cables, big thingies, but I have stuff to put on these that are kind of like these. So why does this one have a tiny cable there? Because it's soldered there. So I'll have to okay, so don't laugh. Right, only two that are not actually screwed together because the kits didn't work. I mean, stuff didn't fit together. So I haven't finished these, and there are no electronics here. So we'll have to build electronics for this. But maybe the box under this is the thing. Oh, right. Because I sorted all the things, you know, and this seems to be the lead box where I sorted all the leads too. Okay, so only leads. The leads are perfect for finding the direction of some power. Right. And we have breadboards. So why am I looking for something else? I don't know. Let's use this. We don't need the multimeter. We just need to know the connection between the direction of the power and the things. We can experiment a bit instead, right? So I'm actually getting this one. Am I really? This one was a little nicer. It's tinier. It can fit. Also, this kind of power switch would have been good for that too. So I'm actually going to drink this that I found. It's not like I don't have several others somewhere in the house, but it's midsummer, right? Let's actually check what time it is. 17:50. So I think I have like 40 minutes, probably at least, because we're going to do some barbecue with the family later. So we don't need this anymore. These are the thing of our attention. To double check the instructions. Let's look here. So that's my chat. Alright, I'll have to do something about the sheep viewers messages and detect them. But not now. So photosensitive things. Place two AA cells into the battery box and switch on. The two light emitting diodes will of the sensor should glow. If they do not, you may have welded the positive and negative diodes to medium 5 of the medium 5. Yeah, so this is 5 millimeters. I don't know what they think is medium, the translator. It said mm. Machine parts assembly 1. Cover the wheels with the silicone tires. Fix the wheel with the hub screw. Yeah, we did that. And on the deceleration motor shaft, divides the connecting wires of the two sectors and solder them on to decelerating motors. Okay. Press the identifier on the circuit board to attach the motor to the circuit board. Welds the lead. I'm thinking Google could do better than this, right? Welds the lead on the motor to the motor board according to the identifier. Yeah, there's no identifier. Well, we can see what direction it is. The thing is to attach it in the right direction. Test drive circuit. Key switch on. The 8-foot IC first foot, 7-foot, 4-foot connection. Then, when the deceleration motor should be turned forward, otherwise the corresponding motor LED can be replaced. Yeah, so they want us to test it and see if we did it right. And otherwise switch it, right? If the motor does not turn, check the transistor is soldered reverse and base resistant 10 ohms is correct. The LM393 chip is inserted, right, not inserted, it would be a nice one, bug. Power is cut off and the corresponding potentiometer is adjusted to enable the car to walk normally on the black line. This is where I got the hint that it's supposed to follow a black line, right? Without running out of the black line. Nice translation here. The instructions are attached to the test track to use. Well, okay, suddenly. Where did I put the instructions? No, that's my car paper. Here it is. So now we know what this is. This is a test track for the car to drive. We have a test track. Woohoo! That's kind of nice. So, I'm thinking we have this if we need it. We have this. And I need to get to AA batteries. Let's see if I have them here. So, but I have to move these out of the way. Because I bought new ones yesterday. Let's see. So, where do I have batteries? Here, maybe. Nice. So we have batteries. Right. Let's get batteries. Oh. So maybe I won't have time to do some cybersecurity things. We'll see. I'm going to start it today, and I'd rather do it on stream, but I might take a break. Yeah, so I thought that this didn't really look like AA, but well, let's see if we can squish them in. No, this is AAA holder. You can't put two. Look at that. Now, what do you think? Is this the Chinese version of? Maybe it will be really, 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 really tough when it's in here. Okay, we'll try. So if I push this one to the side, right? So it has power. Stuff's happening. But we only see one LED on. So this is so little power. So I'm thinking of soldering these while it's on. And I'm also thinking of shorting these quickly to see. And let's look at it, because I'm kind of assuming here now that the both LEDs are supposed to be on and one is not. So this LED, let's quickly look. We didn't short it, right? This one, and then we have the photoresistors here. So if I were to cover this and cover this, nothing changed in how the lights are. Well, these seem to turn on and off, right? So it's supposed to like turn the motors on. Oh look. So maybe they're not all supposed to be on all the time. And maybe my jumper doesn't work as good as I thought. Let's get a real jumper, but let's turn it off first, right? So they're now supposed to be off. So I'll just see if I can find a jumper. I'm not sure I have one, but rather I'm sure I have jumpers, and I also have jumpers already here that are in use. Whatever, I'm going to officially borrow a jumper here because it's quicker, and I'm officially doing it on stream because then we will know, right? So now it is officially on, and also officially this one went on and off when I just move it, right? Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Let's have it over this. So if it's the only thing that changes is my movement, this means it works, right? It's not that I moved it that made it change. This one behaves differently with different reflection into the light resistor. My brain keeps popping on Swedish words. So so out here it turned on when I got back here. So apparently this is, yeah, so that's the side without the light on. So let's actually solder these things a tiny bit here. So, right. So I'm going to actually touch these here. And let's confirm by looking on the inside, which we can do when it's turned off, that the LEDs are turned the same way. So when we look at this one, we see that the big bit of the LED is on the outside here. And when we look at this LED, we see that the big bit of the LED is on this side too, meaning it's correct. These are not supposed to matter because it's just a resistor and it doesn't have a directionality, and the soldering looks okay. Yeah, so part of me wants to hop to the other stuff now, and part of me wants to know if this is what it's supposed to be like. And also, I know that this didn't work, right? Because I was trying to figure out which side of it was the one I wanted to use, you know, how I was about to turn it. And what I noticed was that nothing was connected ever, however we put it. Anyway, these seems very... The battery holder, I think I could drop this from a cliff, you know. They will never fall out. So let's just turn it back on. So when I turn it on there, it also flickers a bit. And confirming I did solder the right one. Now this one turned on when I... Yeah, so outside here it turns on too. So it's not that it's not working, it's something that's happening. So I'm not sure if these are supposed to be on this all the time or not. So let's actually see. These are tiny, you know, tiny ones. But they're supposed to be enough. So what if I were to put these on the motor? Will it move? Yeah, it did, and I jumped. I jumped. So when we get connection here, so it's turning this way. Which would mean it would go... Well... It would go forward being this direction. So it's really... Let's try it again. So I'm just trying to make it touch. Yes, this would be backwards. So if I were to turn it the other way around, this would be forward. This would be forward. So green on top would be forward. So green on top on that side. So here we have the tiny tabs here. So green is the plus, and I'm kind of thinking it should be the other way around here. just because it's on the other side. Let's see. And also this one might not move because it's not supposed to, because the light is not on this side. So it's not supposed to move here. So let's confirm we have the same functionality. Oh god, that's a crooked wheel. Yeah, so it's alright, when it's moving, the light is lighting up a bit. Which would probably mean, yeah, this is a bit crooked. Let's get that screwdriver. Yeah, so I can't affect the direction really here, right? Didn't want to bend it. Well, we'll see. Maybe there's some tiny bit of plastic in there. So let's assume that this is the right direction for it. And if we solder this one like this, if I hold it so it can move again. If we solder green, black, like this. Let's see. So I'm actually going to move the jumper to the off position, so I don't drop it somewhere. Right. Yeah, so let's solder these. So we have green and we have black and we have these. We could like bend them up a bit. Such a tiny, you can see the tininess of this. So this is how much of a lead we have here. So let's see, can I actually put this in the tiny hole? If I do it like from the side, and we do that, and we just leave it like this, and put it down here. No, that won't work. It will need to be like up. And I just move the paper over, and let's bend the black one out of the way so we can see better. So what do you think? Can we reach to solder this? We might. Let's pull it back a tiniest bit. Oh yeah, not pop out all the way, thank you. Right, I just realized I don't have shut up. Cactus. Right, sorry for me. I'm so used to GTS. I really don't see chat. I'm too used to it. So let's see. The tiniest hole with the tiniest lead. So I almost soldered a connector here for it, but this is just a tiny sheep project, so let's see if I can make a tiny bend on the tiny cord with my giant fingers and not touch it. And all of these cords are like, I'm worried I'll just pull them a bit, you know. Ouch, this is too hot. The handle is warm now. Let's say it's warm, it's not mega hot. Also, we have the plastic here too. Come on there. Yeah, so I can see the plastic melting a bit, which is kind of nice because I know that it's in there. Right, so it's attached. So I'm turning this paper around like a, you know, these are very tiny. Maybe you can, yeah, I'm not a big person. My fingers are not giant, you know. So, other side. Come on now. So this is why I didn't want to do this without checking first. For the directionality. So let's bend these a bit too. A little bit. So they get it. They can... well... I would like it to pull a bit here. So it's actually have a better grip. That was like useless. There, and we want it to be this this direction. And I'm like, oh yeah, you can see how the whole cable there is sturdier because of the tin has gone up the lead. So should I do the other side instead? I don't know. Welcome in, Blade 447. So I might actually use the arm here a bit because I don't have 3 arms and I want this to be pulled the tiniest bit, and it all fell down there from like being on top of this. So let's see if I can reach it. The good thing with having it all on the paper that I can rotate this to an angle where I can actually solder without being on top of that. So now I think this maybe. We'll just unroll a bit more of this. And let's see. So we don't have focus anymore. We want focus. Me wants focus. Me wants it. So let's pull some tin on here. Some. Come on now. Yeah, but we want a bit more. We want kind of a lot there. Yeah. There. So the angle of this is not a perfect one, but it's okay. So let's see the other one. It looks good enough. So both of these. So this is supposed to go there on the inside, which is kind of funny though, right? So I'm assuming we're supposed to glue this here with this little pad. Right. So there are 2 of these. But let's make sure all the electronics actually works first. So now we're going to turn this on. This will keep going eternally. Let's put it all on here. And the reason I'm keeping it running, well, I should have just turned it over, right? So when this is running, this lit up before. So when this lets out too, This means this motor should be getting power too. So it's supposed to be this direction. So no action here. Let's try the other direction. So we're having movement. Let's see. Yeah, this is the wrong one. Yeah, so let's actually attach the red one on top, right? Because if it goes backwards, though if it has power, you know, shouldn't it go? They're not like one direction, are they? It would just be spinning. So this is not connected. What about this? Yeah, so we have movement in the correct direction. So red on top here. And we have the LEDs, one of the LEDs turned on, meaning this one is still not lit up, but it might be broken, you know. The button didn't work either. So red on this side. And I think this, seriously, the plan for the those that made this was for us to test. Solder test, not just feel it. So I'm kind of confident to put this on here with the glue bit, right? Quickly confirm that it is the right direction. So this would make this forward. And this is where the sensors are. So I'm going to actually put this on here. So as long as that solder doesn't like pop off, you know, it's kind of good like this. Oh, whatever. It's almost touching here. That's my only concern. Ah, that's the way it is now. I'll have to cut off a bit of this if it's, but it's there's a distance, you know. It's not just very much. And we could fix it if we need it. We'll fix it. So this one we'll need to solder now. So let's actually not have this big paper underneath. Even though it's kind of nice to have a big paper, it's a bit big to turn. So let's have this tiny one instead. So we have the places we want to solder to. I did say red on top, and I meant it this way with red here. So we're going to solder them like this. And if we hold this, the red one, let's get the white one out of the way for now. Let's do one at a time. And this is so tiny. Come on, be a bit straighter there so we can see. And then let's try and hook this into this. So I don't see good enough. And I need something under here. Was one of the lids for the microscope. So maybe I should put something underneath anyway. Let's do that. But let's take this protection thing instead of the paper, because the paper was a bit, you know, not that purpose. So now we can rotate the holder too. Let's see, focus. Tiniest thing here. This one up a bit. Can this bend in here? If we have it lower and a bit up and rotate. And that's not a good plan with something with a hole in it. What's the same height as a phone? I'll just fix it anyway. So I think I need something tinier. So let's, my fingers are too big here. There. So it will stay in place until I get there with my soldering iron, right? Just maybe a bit too much even. Such tiny things. So let's see. I'm going with a solder from that direction. Alright, I switched to the wrong scene and I didn't fix it. Why am I in the wrong scene? So I'm trying to 3D see with 2D. That's not good. Now let's try again. That solder is bye. So it's too dark for me to see on the desk. It's actually attached. I just want more here. Come on. There. So we have that nice background there, but I think we can see more with this scene. It doesn't switch there. Which is better? Is this better? Maybe it is. Oh well. Oh well. We can stay at this one then. As long as I can see. I'm okay. And I can. So next side. So let's rotate it a bit. And we have that white one down here. Now let's release that one so we can move it. Tiniest hook. Let's. I think my nail might be able to. So I'm assuming. I'm assuming that some of it will melt off. Making it possible for me to do that easier. So what direction will be the easiest? Maybe this one. As long as some of the metal has connection there to the other metal. If we started it now, it would go crazy because it's already connected by touch. So let's see. Let's put this one on here first, and then yeah, so I'm kind of missing it there, but that's enough. Lots of solder. Not the prettiest. And also very smelly from the burnt plastic. So let's look how it looks like. So I'm going to focus on higher. And let's look closer. Here. Now that's not pretty. That's okay, but this one is not pretty. Nah, we'll have to do something about that. So the problem is if I make, so this is a real light problem, I think. I think I will actually turn on this light I had on the side. So tomorrow I will have my normal light up, but today we're still back at medieval times with no light. So I'll just see what I can do if I just... So let's put some solder on this side. See what happens. Because we can't like really remove it, you know. So that it has bits of burnt plastic in it. That's kind of okay. As long as it's... We'll see if the model will go. That felt more stable now. So both of the holes are covered. It's ugly with burnt plastic. The kid's knocking on the door. Yes. Tack. Jag kommer. kom jag snart? Right. Yeah, so I said there a few minutes ago that I'd probably have to go at this time. So, let's see. So it's possible that these components are not working. And I'm thinking that replacing them, if we put it here, might be a problem. Right? But let's see what happens if we move the jumper to the on position, and we have two moving wheels, but not all the time. This one seemed to be on all the time. Yeah, so both are actually going backwards now, which is kind of funny. Yeah, this will be backwards. So, well, I messed up. How? So anyway, this one seems to have some kind of detection when being on and not. But this one just seems to be on always. So that's also odd. Is something shorter then? And this is always on. So I'm thinking more of that's a problem than the one that's not on here. We will have to debug this and see. And maybe I was like thinking this way. Nah, I wasn't. Well, that's annoying. So, if we were to do this one, let's see. This would be this direction would be. Yeah, so this. Let's see. Yeah, it's going that way. But it's still very odd that it's always on, this one. Whatever I do, you know. If I put bright stuff here, if I put it not there, it will always be on. I don't think this one should be on always. Let's see if we cover... If we cover in between here. Yes! Kom in! Jag kommer snart! So, when I block the light from its own LED to the light resistor, it's going straight. It could also be that this one should also be on, so it should be an equal light. And also this one might actually be like turned some way. No, we can't only be turned sideways. Well, it's odd. Let's turn it off. Yeah. So, or actually, let's put this one where it's supposed to be, so I don't forget. There. Oh my. So I really thought carefully here about the positioning and the direction, and then it turned and went a different direction. So I'm like, I'll have to look at the stream for this. That's annoying. Alright. Yeah, so let's hop to the screen. And it's 18:30, Midsummer Eve here. Meaning barbecue time. So I'm going to put everything away a bit. So I'm thinking it would have been kind of nice to test it more. And this is the... Oh, let's throw that one out. So let's see. Let's actually look not only at chat or the instructions, but let's see if anyone is online. Yes, we have people online, and yesterday we got a raid from the Black Hanger, so of course we'll have to raid. And also I raided Theo the other day. So let's just see what she's doing. And I'm thinking she might have music on, so I'm muting. So also we don't have to hear the ads. I'm just waiting for the ads. So I'm going to look at the actual circuit and see how it works. Right, let's do that. It's a very simple circuit. And alright, let's go full screen and turn off the microscope there, because I turned it off. There, I pulled the power cord. So we have this schematic here, and it's a very simple thing. And these are, let's see, here is the IC. So I think we can understand it all and see how it works. Alright, also we have to make settings here. We can make settings. So, but all the components need to work. Like all the LEDs needs to be able to be on if they're supposed to be on, and I don't know if they're supposed to be on. But I'm thinking that I'll read all of this and try and maybe I should make a new translation of this, you know, because this one is kind of bad. So if I just OCR this, copy it to the computer, and then let the computer, like Google Translate, make the translation instead, maybe it'll be more readable. Then this is my phone's try. I did. So I'm going to put it all in the tiny little box again. So not much. All the bits in there already.